what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the JT Dodgers podcast. I'm your host, JT, or James Torillo, and this is the official Dodgers podcast of the JT Sports Network. So, in this episode, we are going to get right on into it. We're going to recap the last week of the Dodgers season. Actually, we're probably going to go over last week and a half, 2 weeks, because last episode we had a LA Sports Wave on here, and we didn't get to recap the past week too much. So we're going to do that in this episode. We're also going to go over the tight race in the NL West, even though it's early. We're going to go over that as well. And we're going to go over the current stat leaders for the Dodgers. So we're going to get right on into it. So in the Dodgers' last few games, this is what we have here. I was at the games in Philly, and I think the last time we recapped, we left off. We were hoping the Dodgers would sweep the Braves, and they ended up doing that. As you can see here, they won 6-5. They trailed this game 5-0. They come back, they tie it 5-5, and to lead it off in the bottom of the ninth, Shohei Ohtani hits the walk-off homer, and the Dodgers win. So the Dodgers would improve to 8-0, their best start in franchise history, and then they would go on the road to Philadelphia. So first game, I was at all three games in Philadelphia because I am in New Jersey. So I was at all three. First one, the Dodgers are trailing 3-0 going into the top of the ninth. Tommy Edman hits a two-run homer. They cut it down to one, but unfortunately, a strikeout to Muncy and Taylor caught stealing for a double play would end the game, and the Dodgers would suffer their first loss of the season. So we go to the next day. The Dodgers give up one in the first. They're down 1-0. And Kike Hernandez hits a two-run homer to put the Dodgers up 2-1. Conforto would also homer later, and the Dodgers would win this game 3-1. They'd get back on track, improve to 9-1 on the season. The next day, Teoscar Hernandez hits a two-run homer in the first, put the Dodgers up 2-0. Phillies come back to tie it. Way too many walks in this game. The Dodgers walked 11 batters in this game. Tyler Glasnow was the starter, and he just was a mess. The conditions were not great. It was not his best start, and he was put on the IL after this start. I'm sorry. No, Blake Snell was put on the IL, not Tyler Glasnow. I apologize. Yeah, this was a rough game, and the Phillies took the lead 6-2 after a Castellanos grand slam. They put up 6 runs in the same inning. The Dodgers would actually come back, take the lead 7-6 in the top of the seventh, but then the Phillies struck back in the bottom of the seventh with 2 runs, make it 8-7, and the Dodgers would not score again, and we would lose this game 8-7. So, I was at all three of these games. I was actually in the Diamond Club seats or whatever that club is called now, behind home plate for the Phillies, which was really cool. So I was very blessed to be able to go to all three of these games. So it was, of course, a lot of fun. But man, those Philly fans are just so annoying. I don't know. What else to say. I mean, there's just we walk out and they're talking trash about winning the game in April. We just won the World Series. You think we care that we lost the game in April? Like, I don't know. I thought it was kind of ridiculous. But I know, then again, I'm a Flyers fan, so I guess I can't talk too much. But then the Dodgers go to Washington, and this is a series you expect the Dodgers to go in and take all three, especially with the team we have. I know a little banged up. We don't have Freddie Freeman for the Philadelphia series or the Washington series, but this was a series you expect the Dodgers to win all three, and they only take one. The first game they lose 6-4, then they lose 8-2. This was a beatdown by Washington. It really was. And then the third game, the Dodgers thankfully come back in this one. They were up 4-0. They blew the lead. We're down 5-4. Thankfully, they're able to come back and win this one 6-5, and they get back on track. Uh, you know, 2 straight series losses. You see people on social media saying, "Oh, well, this and that. The Dodgers are struggling," and to be honest, it is extremely early and it's not something to completely worry about. But at the same time, we go to Chicago. Well, we're in LA, but we play Chicago now, and the Dodgers lose another series. And I know it's early, but I didn't expect the Dodgers to lose 3 series in a row all year. So now we're thinking, okay, this isn't right. It's early, but this shouldn't be happening. We swept the Cubs in Tokyo. They should not be beating us 2 out of 3. We're a much better team. Shouldn't happen, especially in Los Angeles. We win the first game 3-0. Tommy Edman homers. It's a 3-run homer. That was the only scoring of the game. And then we get to Saturday night. Oh my gosh. You're looking at the score and thinking, you know, wow, that's rough. You're right, because it was the worst home loss in Dodgers history. They had never been shut out and lost by that much at home in franchise history. And it's crazy to think that going into like the sixth inning, this was a game. This was 1-0. And then they left Kasperius in for too long. I don't know why Roberts brought him out for a second inning. It didn't really make any sense because he wasn't having a good night. He shouldn't have brought him out for another inning. He brings him out again. He gives up 4 more runs. And then after that, they bring in Miguel Rojas because they're getting blown out. He gives up 5 more, and the score ends up being 16-0. Worse than it looked, yes, but the Dodgers also didn't score a run this game, so it wouldn't have mattered if the Cubs scored 1 run or 16 runs. The Dodgers still would have lost this ball game. So that's the worst loss of the season. It's going to be really hard to top that, but that is probably, we're going to be looking back on this in September or at the end of September, beginning of October, and say, yeah, that early loss to the Cubs in April was the worst loss of the season and the worst loss, maybe the worst loss in Dodgers regular season history. It was bad. It was really bad. Like, this team should never, I know it's 1 game in April, but there's no excuse for this team losing a game 16 to nothing to any team in the world. This is the best baseball team in the world. They should not be losing by 16 to any team in the league. So then we get to the next night and you think, all right, they'll bounce back. They're the best team in baseball, right? Unfortunately, the Dodgers lose this one again. They lose 4-2. And in this game, Kike Hernandez actually got his first hit of the year that wasn't a homer, and that's still his last hit. So the Dodgers lose a third series in a row, but thankfully they stay at home against the Rockies. They take the first one 5-3. They get back on track. We're thinking, okay, it's the Rockies. This has to be 3 wins, right? This has to be 3 wins. Thankfully, they win the second game 6-2. And then last night, they win 8-7 your final at home, and they sweep the series against the Rockies. So takeaways from this series, I mean, there's really not much to say. The Dodgers are just flat out a much, much better team than the Rockies, and the Rockies might be the worst team in baseball at the end of the year. They're 3-15 right now as I record this. I mean, the whole NL West is so good, and then there's just the Rockies. I mean, I'm sorry, Rockies fans, but I mean, this is rough. This is really, really rough. I mean, let's recap the whole standing so far. The wild, wild NL West, as I called it in the caption of this video. You look at the Rockies, 3-15. Their win percentage is 167. I mean, you can't get much worse than that. That's horrible. And the sad part is not only are they a really bad team, they're going to have to play the Diamondbacks, Giants, Dodgers, and Padres all several more times this season, and that is just going to be several more losses for the Rockies in this season, and they're going to have over 100 losses for sure. It's going to be a rough season for them. The Diamondbacks were National League champs in 2023. They actually got better in 2024. They won 6 more games, but they missed the playoffs because the National League wild card was just better that year. They won 84 games in 2023. I believe they won 90 in 2024, but they ended up missing the playoffs. So the last time the Diamondbacks were in the playoffs, they ended up going to the World Series. So if this team gets in, don't be surprised if they make a run for it like they did 2 years ago. I know a lot of people say it was a fluke, and to be honest, I don't think it was a fluke, but that Diamondbacks team was not good. They just straight up were not that good. They were 84-78. That shouldn't be a playoff team, but they ended up getting the last seed in 2023 because the National League was, well, the wild card teams were a little weaker that year. They were able to squeeze in, but they made a name for themselves. And they ended up going to the World Series and winning the National League pennant. So they're in fourth right now, though. That's how good that division is. And then we get to the Giants, who I don't going into the season, I expect them to be, around 500, a few games under 500. They're 13-6 right now. They lost today, so the Dodgers passed them. The Dodgers are a half a game ahead of them as I record this. And the Giants were in first, second for the first few weeks of the season. They now dropped to third. They'll probably finish third or fourth in the division, but I mean, I'm not going to say it's nice to see them play well because I hate the Giants, but for Giants fans, it's nice to see them get off to a good start and succeed early on here. Then we get to the Dodgers, who are 14-6, coming off of 3 straight wins, but all against the Rockies. And then we have our little brothers, the San Diego Padres. Padres are a game and a half ahead of us for first place right now. They're probably having a parade in San Diego and raising a banner for being ahead of the Dodgers as we speak. And are they going to cool down? Maybe, but this is going to be a really good team. This could be the Padres' best chance to win the World Series they've ever had. This could be a 100-win team. They could win over 100 games and not win the division. I hate to give the Padres credit because I can't stand a single player on that team. Can't stand them. In terms of the players on the roster, they're by far my least favorite team, one of my least favorite teams in sports, but they are a great team. They are going to be very good. I do think the Dodgers are better, but only time will tell. I think the Dodgers are going to come in first. I think the Padres will come in second. I think the Padres will get the first wild card spot with over 100 wins or around 100 wins if they keep this up. They are a great team, as much as it hurts to admit. But here are my final predictions for the National League West. I would say the Dodgers. I'll give 105 wins. Padres 101. Diamondbacks 92. Giants 80. I really don't think they're going to be that good still. And then the Rockies will have I don't know, 50 wins. They're not going to be good. They are atrocious. So there's your National League West standings. This is going to be the best division in baseball all year long. I do think the Giants will fall off. I think the Diamondbacks will be the third best team with over 90 wins, and it's going to be between the Dodgers and Padres to win that division. I know everyone's saying, oh, the Dodgers might not win the division. I think they will. I really do think the Dodgers will win the division, but it's not going to be a cakewalk just because, we have such a stacked team and we do have the best roster in baseball. It is not going to be a cakewalk to win our division. The Padres are a very good team. They spend a ton of money just like we do. They have a lot of great players just like we do. They're not as good, but they're going to give us a run for our money. And I do think the Dodgers will win the division, but it's not going to be easy. So that brings us to the Dodgers' current stat leaders. We have technically Freddie Freeman or Will Smith would be our batting average leaders. Will Smith is batting 367 and Freddie's batting 333. But in terms of games played, Shohei Ohtani leads the team batting average. He's batting 287, which is crazy to think that shows how good Shohei is. That's not good for Shohei. And that's still a very good above average batting average, which is crazy to think. Shohei also leads the team in homers with 6. He leads the team in on-base percentage, 380, and he leads the team in hits with 23. Teoscar Hernandez leads the team in RBIs with 16. And not only are there a lot of great players that stick out here, there are also a lot of guys who stick out as guys who are struggling. We look at Andy Pages, batting 175. We look at Kike. You guys know how I feel about Kike. He's batting 125. He's batting 125. He has 6 hits in 48 at-bats. 6 hits. That cannot happen. That absolutely cannot happen. You have guys with 23 hits on the team, and then there's guys with 6 hits and 5 hits. Like Miguel Rojas doesn't have as many doesn't have many at-bats, so he gets a pass for now. But, I mean, this is just rough. I mean, Kike should never be in the starting lineup unless it's a complete emergency. If Freddie gets hurt, I'd rather have Rojas in there. I'd rather have Chris Taylor in there right now. Chris Taylor is batting 250. I know my face is blocking his name, but this is his stats right here. He's batting 250 on base percentage, 250 slugging percentage, 500 OPS. Those are not good numbers, yet they're better than Kike's. They are much better than Kike's, actually. And Kike's OPS is a little higher, but his batting average is 125. How are you batting 125? It's crazy to think. Freddie, even though he's missed some games, only 30 at-bats, he's batting 333, 10 hits and 30 at-bats. Freddie's going to have a high batting average and he's going to be one of the best hitters on the team. He's the man. He's got, let's see, how many home runs does Freddie have? He has 3 home runs in 30 at-bats, 6 RBIs, 22 total bases, 3 walks, and only 3 strikeouts in 30 at-bats. Pretty good stuff from Freddie so far, for sure. Shohei, 5 stolen bases. He leads the team in stolen bases as well. That's going to keep up from last year. He had 59 stolen bases last year. I wouldn't be surprised if he had a similar number to that this year. I wouldn't be surprised if he had more. It's Shohei Ohtani. So those are your Dodgers stat leaders so far for the season. Will Smith has been great. Max Muncy's another guy who's been struggling, but has been a little better. He was a little better against Colorado than he was in previous series. So it's going to be interesting to see how things fold out, but that's pretty much a recap of the Dodgers last week or two of their season. They currently sit at 14-6, second place in the National League. Here's a look at the standings one more time. Very early to be critiquing the standings too much, but just something to look at. It's proof that this is going to be a very competitive division, and it certainly will not be easy whatsoever for the Dodgers to win this division. So, next episode is going to be next week. I'm looking to have a special guest on, but nothing is official as of yet. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. These episodes, when it's just me, will probably be 15 to 20 minutes. When I have a guest, they'll be longer. My last episode was a little over 30. This one will be uh, around 16 minutes. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you could please subscribe to the JT Sports Network, that would be greatly appreciated. We are going to be pumping out some brand new content for our Wiffle Ball League, MLWB. You can subscribe to them as well, MLWB Wiffle. But subscribe here to the JT Sports Network for more Dodgers content, more sports content, and follow JT Sports Network on Instagram and TikTok as well. So thank you guys so much for watching this episode. I hate to be that guy that's like, oh, like this video, subscribe to this channel, but it's greatly appreciated because I'm really trying to grow this channel, and I'd really appreciate it. So thank you guys so much. And as always, let's go Dodgers.